When we come back, we will do the day's top stories and some tips on watering your lawn as we get into the summer season. We're back after this.
Okay, time to switch gears now and talk lawn care this morning. Watering your lawn may seem basic, but the key to keeping your grass green in the hot summer months is finding that happy medium between watering too much and watering too little, apparently. And joining us now to tell us all about that is lawn care expert Chris Brown from Teed & Brown in Norwalk. Nice to have you here this morning.
Well, thanks for having me.
I know, you see all these beautiful lawns out there, and it looks so easy. But it's not.
It's not. Well, it's complicated and it is easy as long as you know what you're trying to do. Probably the biggest question I get from people about watering lawn is how long should I run the sprinklers for? Well, you don't know that answer until you get the answer to two other questions, and we're going to go over those real quickly here. The first one is how much water is your sprinkler system putting out right now? So you might have an in-ground installed sprinkler system, or you might be using the traditional sprinklers that you can hook up to hoses. Here's an old fan one that the kids love running through. And whatever you use, you need to measure the amount of water you're putting down, and that's measured in inches. Okay, pretty simple. And so what I did is I brought here some regular household implements that you can use. Actually, 3 of these will work well, 1 will not. Just wanted to bring it in to demonstrate what not to do. What you want is something that's got nice straight sides. Okay, that's key. Now, coffee can works well, tuna fish can, something like that. Even in, a cake pan that you might not be using too much. All you have to do is put it out in the yard and turn on the sprinklers for about a half an hour. Okay? This one will not work. Let me just back up for a second because it's got tapered sides. Okay. The tapered sides will cause it to give you more water, appear to have more water. It's not an accurate measurement, exactly. So what you want to do is measure it for about a half an hour. Then when it's all done, take a good old-fashioned ruler, stick it in there, just like a dipstick in the oil in your car, and then just see how much water you got in that half an hour period. Now what you want is about 1 inch of water per week. Okay. That's your starting point. So if you've got, let's say, 1/4 of an inch in a half an hour, then you just water your lawn 4 times a week for a half an hour each time.
Makes sense.
So that'll be the good starting point. The second question is a little bit more difficult, and you have to sort of fine-tune it yourself, and that is how much water does your lawn need? So if you've got a lawn that's out in the beating sun all day and it's got a lot of sand in it, it's going to dry out a lot quicker. And so you might need to do 1.5, maybe 2 inches of water. If you've got a lawn that's got a lot of shade and the soil's a little bit richer and holds the water better, you might not need as much. So what you do is start off with 1 inch per week and just see how it goes. Okay, examine your lawn over the next couple of weeks. Is it browning out and turning, really crispy? Well, then you got to water more.
Now you hear about the old wives' tale. Is it better to water your lawn in the morning or in the evening? Does that make a difference?
It really doesn't. There's slight differences in that. There's, for example, if it's wet for too long, they talk about it encouraging diseases and things like that. And there's something to that, but the difference is so minimal. I just tell people water whenever it's convenient for you.
Okay.
That's really the key.
And when you're using this sort of sprinkler system, is this regulated so that when you do this particular test, you'll know when enough is enough?
No. What you have to do is measure that yourself so that you know. And then if you're using sprinklers like this where you hook it up to the hose, you'll have to time it and then just go turn it off yourself. Or you can actually get timers that you can hook up to the hose.
All right.
To say, all right, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever you think is ideal.
Well, if you want a gorgeous-looking lawn, Teed & Brown have all the answers, right?
Absolutely. Well, I've actually got a good video on our website, teedandbrown.com, that explains this in much better detail, so if people still have other questions, they can go there and check that out.
Okay, great information, Chris. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
For more information, you can log on to our website at WTNH.com, click on the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section. We have much more coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking about what you're talking about on Facebook and Twitter. That's up next on News 8. Stay with us.